Welcome back to the Priestess Prophecies. It is Priestess Melissa. So good to join your energy again today for this special reading. Of course, it is the full moon in Leo, February 16th, 2022. This is a powerful energy for us to step into who we truly are. The readings, if you've been following them in the order, that they've been coming out, a lot of just determining who it is that we really are, what it is that we really want, right? And, kind of like being man enough or woman enough to just do what you need to do and go for it. You know what I mean? So, as for the full moon, first of all, we're going to do the crystal mandala cards, right? We're also going to get into the moonology cards to see what's going on for this reading today. I brought out some crystals because last night I put out my crystals and charged them by the full moon. So since this is a full moon reading, this definitely ties in where I can share a little bit with you about, how to do this process. So on the full moon, like if you have crystals, put them outside, like on a plate or something of that nature. You can even put them on like a baking sheet and just lay them all out. Put them out underneath the full moon light. That will charge your crystals and clear them. Now, what I did bring out here today, these are really beautiful. This is sage, but this is a special one. It's wrapped in different colored roses. So this is like a chakra sage, if you will. And then we have Palo Santo. These are all great tools, or both great tools that you can use to cleanse and clear the energies, the old energies, if you will, so that when you put the crystals out, they'll now be charged with that new energy and they're ready for you to use. They're fresh. They don't have all that old energy on them any longer. So I just wanted to show you that today, guys. And yes, let's put this back so we can go ahead and get into our reading today. I'm so excited. Full moons always get me a bit charged up. How do they go for you? Yeah, sometimes it can be crazy. I know in the hospitals, if you work in a hospital like I do, you can definitely attest that there seems to be a lot more activity, especially in the ER and the surgery department. All right, let's take a moment of silence to give thanks and gratitude to our love team, the ancestors, way showers, and guides that bring the messages forth for us today. Take a couple of nice, slow, deep breaths. Thank you so much to our love team, our guides, our angels, our loved ones that have passed on, that help us. And, many of us still connect with those people. I know that, I know a lot of people that still, have visits, if you will, from their deceased loved ones and things of that nature. And many have had very, very powerful experiences, with not only their ancestors, but, past deities and things of that nature, gods and goddesses. There's no limit to what you can tap into if you really focus. Wow. What just came out for us today was she shall always prevail. Goddess Isis and the Isis crystal. Wow. We know all about Goddess Isis. There is a lot of firepower behind that energy. So I feel like with tapping into this divine feminine energy today, and the moon is all about the feminine energy, right? So this is about stepping into that power in a very honorable way. If you know anything about Isis, she actually went and found all of the parts of her husband Osiris after his brother Set basically killed him and dismembered him and buried his parts all over the world, basically so he could take over and be able to prevail. But she shall always prevail is what this card says. 51 coming to a 6. Things are definitely balancing out. If you've been on this road to that higher aspect of being, really trying to, write things out in your life and be that king or that queen, you know what I mean? And take charge of your life. This is for you today. This is saying that as long as you always take the higher road and you make the best choices that you can in any situation that you're dealing with, you will always prevail. And this is a little message from this card today, just to give you a little bit more clarity behind it. We bring you the empowerment of she shall always prevail. There is something magnificent in the human spirit when one chooses to believe in oneself. Life rallies to strengthen and encourage it. It is the expression of will to live, not from a place of fear of death, but of a brave, divinely defiant boldness that refuses to give up on what matters most. You have come. You have had your share of heartbreak and disappointments, and yet, rather than bitterness in your heart, you choose to love. You have your moments of doubt and despair, and yet, deep in your heart, you choose to continue on. You have a spirit of Isis in you, and just as the Universal Mother expressing herself through Isis, you too shall prevail. Whatever difficulty you have gone through in your life, heartbreak, disappointments, all of those things, Spirit is saying again, as you take that higher road, as you stick to what you know is right, you will always prevail in any situation, in any devastating situation that may happen in your life. You always have an opportunity to rise above it. This is the affirmation that you can say. The Trinity of Three, the power of three, that is what comes through when you chant or, repeat. It doesn't matter how you want to say it, it's the same thing. There is power in repeating, especially mantras. And when you connect with them in an emotional way, when you really start to sit with it enough over time and say these things over and over, they become a part of you. You start to really connect with it and see how wonderful and magnificent you truly are and how you really do have that power to prevail. The spirit of Isis rises within me, and through my empowered warrior heart, I prevail. The spirit of Isis rises within me, and through my empowered warrior heart, I prevail. The spirit of Isis rises within me, and through my empowered warrior heart, I prevail. Absolutely. You prevailed through so much. You've, been able to get through so many different things. I mean, think about all the different difficulties that you've went through, losing jobs and having to move unexpectedly, difficulties that you had with your parents growing up or friends deceiving you. I mean, there's no end to, how many stories that we could all tell about these different things, right? But where does that get us if we sit in that energy, right? If we don't choose to move forward from it and, see what else there could be besides what devastation has come from the story of our lives, then we'll never know what to really expect and what we can really bring into our lives. So balance spirituality and practicality, right? The full moon in Pisces, this is all about your heart, emotional state, right? It's about maybe understanding that yin-yang perspective, right? We come with both aspects of light and darkness, but it's about balancing all of that out in a very practical way, but still holding to your values, because you know what it is that you want, as far as, you want to have that life where we can all trust and believe that we're all good people and that we treat each other good, and that the world really can be that place like, I can't think of his name at the moment. Imagine all the people, right? But it's about that balance. Again, more yin-yang energy coming out here with the new moon in Pisces. Meditate and contemplate, right? To be able to reach that balance of spirituality and practicality, to be able to understand, right? New moon and full moon, both in Pisces. How do we balance all of this out? Practically, where we can still live this life and deal with the challenges that come our way, but to not be overcome by them, right? So we need to take that time out to sit with whatever may be happening, to give like validation to our feelings, to, even if it's just within ourselves and to ourselves, I'm hurting because of this, this doesn't feel good, or I'm angry, whatever the case may be. But we have to give that validation to ourselves, first of all, because if we don't, we repress it and it will come out. Your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus, all right? So if we don't want to see this heartbreak any longer, we need to make sure that we're strong like a bull, right? And charge forward and do what it is that we need to do. But it means to make those dreams come true. Part of helping those dreams to come true is, yes, believing in them. The other part is actually doing and figuring out what are those steps and continuing on until you manifest those dreams. Imagine all the people, right? That dream, just, happiness for everybody. This is what, this is all about. You will prevail and get to that place of your happiness if you continue on, if you don't give up, right? Maybe this is what the full moon is saying today. You can really take this Leo energy, even though Leo didn't come out in any of these cards today. But you could use this energy so powerfully if you learn how to balance it out first, right? We need to be practical, but we need to be, honorable, like in how our intentions and what it is that we're wanting to create and how we're doing it. Like, you don't want to do it because, oh, I'm going to show them. It's like, no, you're going to show yourself, right? That you can do this. This isn't about them. This is about you when it comes down to it. All right? You got to block everybody else out. Sit with yourself. Deal with whatever you need to deal with. And then put those plans into place. All right? Whatever you get in meditation when you're in that creative mode. You know what I mean? And start moving forward on those plans, right? So let's see what the tarot is saying real quick around all of this. So at the center of all of this is Ace of Cups in reverse. If this is the energy you're sitting in right now, it is because you need to put that plan in place, all right? Because you should be filling your own cup as well as allowing spirit to help fill that cup, right? And that's going to bring that pentacle that you've been looking for. Allow your cup to overflow, right? And bring that peacefulness like the dove here. So right now that's in reverse. That's what we need to work on. And what's crossing us? Six of Wands in reverse. Why? Because maybe we've tried over and over again, once again, like we talked about, to do these things. But where did we stop? Where did we give up? All right. It was about needing to move it through. All right. Using all our tools. This is at the foundation of everything. All right. We need to become the magician and know that we have the power to create whatever it is that we want in our lives, calling it in just like he is here. But if you're not using all of your tools, right, then you're not going to be able to call in what it is that you're actually wanting. So in the past, there was something we weren't seeing, but it looks like we were definitely trying our damnedest, if you will, to get that wisdom, because this is the high priestess, all right? She's in the upright. So something was hidden, you felt like there was something missing, there was just something you weren't getting about how to make this happen. Well, maybe that's because you needed to call in spirit, that higher power, God, whatever it is that that gives you that power, that source of your being, if you will, whatever you want to call that. God, it doesn't matter, but it's energy. And when you resonate with that energy of God, that means that your energy is pure. You know what I mean? That you're always focusing on the right things. You're always making the best decisions you can. Your thoughts, are they positive thoughts, right? Because it can't manifest until you can see it in your mind first and connect with it in your heart. And that is a big part of how we use that magician energy to bring everything into play before we can see it, right? On the manifested plane. In the magician energy there, it's like you're using your tools, but you're not quite manifesting it just yet on the earthly plane. when you're first working with bringing that manifestation in, right? You've got to learn how to work with those tools properly so that you hold your emotional state more in the correct way. You're thinking the right thoughts, you're speaking, even like with your friends and things like that. You can't be playing into gossip, and you can't be talking down about yourself. You can't even be berating yourself like, oh my God, Melissa, why did you do that? You know, those kinds of things. We have to really be kind with ourselves. Tower in reverse. That is beautiful to see moving into the future, because maybe you have understood that it really is very important how we hold our emotional and mental energy, because it is energy and it resonates at a higher frequency whenever you're feeling good, lower frequency when you're feeling more negative. And whatever you're resonating with more often, you know, again, that's what you're bringing to you. So you've got to be careful of that and be aware of it. Yep, definitely. We don't want that energy, and we don't want that energy. That's not good to see at all. So let's get some clarifiers on these real quick for this reading. This is the right base of tarot. I'm just going to shuffle them up real quick and flip them out. But yeah, so I mean, basically what you weren't seeing is that you needed to stay committed, you know, you needed to call in that higher power to help you, as well as give you that strength, if you will, to help you to stay committed and stay in the game, if you will, right? All right, let's see what we got coming out today. So let's clarify the Ace of Wands Ace of Cups in reverse. In the middle, Ace of Cups in reverse is definitely causing this King of Pentacles, you know, to not be able to have that happy cup. Basically, you just need to see yourself as this King of Pentacles to flip that energy around, is what this is saying, right? So Spirit is saying, if you can just see yourself in this position, see yourself as accomplished and already having that success, you're going to immediately start flipping that around in your favor. Let's turn this back up, because that is in the upright position. We like seeing the King of Pentacles in the upright position for sure. Ooh, Chariot. Yeah. Heading fast in the wrong direction. So let's make sure and change that energy around, because this is a Chariot. Spirit is here to help you. You have to hold your energy in the right way. You have to see your success before it can happen. All right. And Spirit is here to help you, to move you forward and do that healing and all of that, bring all of that good stuff in, but you have to choose the path, all right? And if you choose to hold that negative energy, then you're always going to kind of talk yourself out, right, of all the good stuff you want. You're always going to be having these battles, these power struggles, only focusing on like everything else outside of you, which doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? What's this Magician energy? And it is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah. So unless we can learn to work with our energy properly, look, it's kind of like, you know, the energy of money is turning its back on us. We don't want that. We want to bring it in. This is awesome. This has got the dove on it, right? Yeah, that's what we want. So be careful how you're using your energy there. Spirit saying, really be aware of that today. And again, the way you do that is by what you're speaking, what you're doing, you know, how you're thinking, how you're feeling. All of these are your energy and what you're putting out there into the world. Read a book called The Net by Lynn Taggart. All right. It totally explains in scientific terms exactly how your thoughts and emotions are energy, and they connect with the electromagnetic field, and you literally are drawing to you at a quantum level. But you know, over time, and more time and energy that you spend towards either negative or positive energies, right, is going to bring more and more of that to you. So this is always up to you. So the High Priestess in the past energy is, yeah, we had closed our own heart for different reasons, and probably because of different disappointments, maybe not even related, right, to what it is that we're dealing with now. But if we don't heal those things within ourselves, we're constantly, you know, going to be like, what is it? What's going on? And it's like, well, you're turning your back to it. It's right there. It's there for you to see, that you just need to open your heart more, that you just need to believe and trust that there is plenty, enough for everybody to fill your cup and everybody else's as well, all right? There is plenty for all. When we start thinking more in those terms, again, we're going to start drawing more to us. What is this Hierophant energy, please? Hierophant energy, we had 2 cards come out. So we got 5 of Swords again, and this is in the mental space, all right? This is mental manipulation. You could be mind fucking yourself in a negative way, because this is 3 of Cups in reverse, right? So that means definitely disappointments, you know, walking away and being, what is that, defeated. This is not the energy we want to be in. But if we're not coming from an honorable place, if we're not really, you know, behind the scenes being, or at all times being this honorable person, but behind the scenes, you know, we're in this defensive and, you know, argumentative energy, it's not going to serve us in being able to get what we want. And that's something that, you know, is very important to understand, to avoid these towers in our lives, right? Keep those people away from us, perhaps, that, you know, would not allow us to have that balance and things of that nature as well. When we talk about Osiris too, it's about bringing all those parts back, right? Those dismembered parts. And I talked about Osiris in a recent reading, maybe about a week ago, when I used her cards, and that message of, you know, bringing those parts of ourselves back that have been traumatized. And I see that a lot here, or where we may feel we've been traumatized, right? We need to transform. This is the Death card. That's all about transforming, birth and rebirth. Understanding that it's always darkest before the dawn, but there is always a dawn. There's a new cycle always coming, and we can always choose what we want to do in those cycles. Do we want to end it and not have any more of these towers? Because Spirit's saying that you have an opportunity to do that in each moment, and you decide it by how you hold your energy. Wow, that was a pretty powerful message, huh? So I'm going to get a guardian angel card now. So basically this is saying, like, if you stay strong and you do what you need to do here, and you change that energy around, right? Change those, like I talked about in the card when I read it in the book, right? You've been through a lot. We all have in our own way, but don't sit in that. Allow yourself to heal. And remember, after every ending, there's always a new beginning. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Yeah, that's a song. I like that part in that song too. But anyway, let's get back to the guardian angel message here. What is the guardian angel message? And don't forget, we're going to do the love card at the end with the romance angel card, so don't go away. And thank you guys. If you are ready to prevail in your lives, put down in the comments, I will prevail. I will prevail. Absolutely. With that Isis energy, because you are powerful, you are strong, and you prevail over any challenges, over any heartbreaks. Forgiveness. Ah, that is so appropriate, isn't it? Forgiveness says, holding on to the past hurt is preventing you from moving forward and achieving your heart's desires. Let it go. Forgiveness does not mean that you condone another's actions. That is so important to understand, right? It simply means that you are no longer willing to be a perpetual victim. That's what we want to move past, is not sitting in all of this energy, turning away from all of our goodness because we want to, you know, Isis, she didn't sit and cry. She went and found her husband, mummified him, brought him back to life, had her son, right? And then Horus, okay, by the way, and she prevailed. This is what this is talking about. You don't think she was upset when her, you know, husband's brother killed him, took him away, and they were happy together, very happy together. Sometimes these things happen, you know, and it's like, But are we going to sit and wallow in our sorrow? Or are we going to find a way to find that balance and make our dreams come true? Be happy. She made her dream come true, right? But she had to forgive and she had to heal and find a way to prevail. Blame is a waste of your precious energy. Bless and surrender the past, for in doing so, you will reclaim the joy of life. That is awesome. Yeah, you will prevail if you choose love always. All right, guys? And now for the romance angel card. Now, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that you always get notified when my videos come out and you don't miss a thing. This is so wonderful. I love this reading today, guys. I am ready to prevail and be even stronger than ever moving forward in this lifetime. Beautiful. What is the romance angel card today that is for the collective? Show us what we need to know. Wow, we get the same card as yesterday. How interesting is that? I'm going to put it back because I want to see if something else wants to come out. But it was make the effort, guys. All right? Make the effort, no matter how small, to start moving in the right direction, because as you do, you will come to this place of prevailing and you will absolutely feel beautiful as a result. This is the world in the upright, and that is beautiful to see, to put an end to all of those towers, those devastating things in our lives, right? When we learn, when we really understand the way that the way it should normally be, like when things are in a good place and coming from the right perspective, it's not tainted, it's not perverted, you know, people aren't trying to, you know, get something from somebody or take advantage of somebody. It's really, you know, in a pure form, in this energy of the Hierophant. This is all about, you know, doing what's right, doing what's fair and balanced and just. And this is definitely not good energy to be in. You know, Three of Cups in the reverse, definitely not celebrating. You know, who's winning when there's defeat, really? All right, romance angels, show us what we need to know. All right, then. Worth waiting for came out. Maybe you have somebody that is waiting in the wings, if you will. It says divine timing is at work in your love life. So if there is that special someone, they could be waiting for you, and who knows, they could be coming forward, is kind of what I felt with this card too. Somebody felt that today, I know for sure. It is safe for you to love. Beautiful. So if you're now stepping out and considering some new suitors, perhaps, it says it is safe for you to love. Perhaps you've done the healing that you needed to, and, you know, you've been getting out more, as this young lady is on the horse today. And, you know, not necessarily, you know, dating or whatever. Maybe you're just getting out with your friends or taking a drive in the, you know, in a nice area of your city, you know, perhaps out in nature or something like that. This is a beautiful time of the year as it starts moving into the spring. And it is a wonderful time, as this card says here, to open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all, right? Just like that Hierophant energy, we always want to resonate from that highest energy, because that is when we bring in all of our good, all right? So this is a practice for us to get into our high vibe state so we can bring in all the high vibe that we truly want, all right? Beautiful. Well, thank you so much once again for joining me for a reading. Again, remember, these readings are timeless and they will apply at any time that you find them. Thank you, and I will see you again soon for another message. Bye for now.